All right, guys, let's jump right into it. I guess we're just gonna let this conversation flow, but I do have one question to start off. It's let's go back. Let's go to the basic. What is a spam? How can a person identify? Okay, this is a spam.
Well, I think spam is basically unsolicited email, to put it simply. It's sometimes it can be marketing scams. It can be there's many different types of email spam, but some of the traditional ones are bogus business opportunities, advertisements for free goods, chain mail, get rich quick schemes, or even work at home schemes like you would see in the current situation with a lot of people working from home.
Hmm. Yeah, absolutely. And you have, like you mentioned, different types of spam. Some of them may be soliciting or trying to engage you in some form or fashion, but others could be trying to infiltrate your organization or trying to collect, some sort of identity and things like that. So you have to be very careful on the emails that you open.
Even when you get an email, I've read that sometimes you want to unsubscribe for something that you think it's spam, and by unsubscribing, there's a link that, again, it's another way of spamming and getting your information.
Is there like a busy season for spam? Is there like a specific time of year where people get uh, most of the spams, or is there such a thing, or pretty much it's spread out throughout the year?
I would say that I'm pretty sure they're planning for reaching out to people when days like, for example, Christmas and
The holidays.
the holidays, like what's the day for the people who love each other?
Valentine's Day.
Valentine's
What is the
Day.
love day? Yeah, Valentine's Day. So
No, Mhm.
yeah, and then they reach out to different people asking for pretending to be someone else and asking them to go buy gifts and especially gift cards and things like that, so they can retrieve that cash later on. We recently see something like that happen with one of our clients. Pretty much a lot of employees in the company got the same email coming from this person, pretending to be that person, requesting to go out and buy some gift cards because they were planning on giving it to people because of what was the date that we recently have here?
but
Um,
thanks.
the one
No,
with the pumpkins.
Halloween.
no, Halloween,
Thanksgiving,
Halloween.
Halloween.
Yeah. No,
So yeah.
go ahead, Javier.
So yeah, we had to we catched it on time, and then we had to send an email blast, advising people not to go and do that, and then we of course block the email with our email filtering software. So it's just, I mean, I think they're all the time. They're always sending, but I think we see it more often when dates like this are coming.
Okay, and
Yeah.
and go ahead, Israel.
Yeah, I definitely want to emphasize what Javier is saying is there's going to be holidays and key events. For example, the election, different key events that happen in our society that trigger the unsolicited amount of emails.
And with that being said, what kind of things should you look out for when you suspect or not suspect? What kind of things you should, in general, should look out for to avoid falling to one of these traps,
Yeah,
aka spam?
I think you should not just trust the name or positions that you see in the emails. Not just go with that. Go into that actual name. If you expand it or you hover over it, it will tell you the complete email address. And I'll give you an example. Let's say jsilva@yahoo.com, but it can come on an Israel Dennis name. It's just, it's how it converts that email address to that name because it's the display name. When you set it up, you can set it up that way, and it's that easy. And then you just send it out to somebody that is gonna see that Israel Dennis, and that person knows Israel Dennis, but it's not coming from Israel's email. It's coming from that Yahoo.
Like a fake address,
Yeah. So that's people get confused a lot with that. So we're always telling the users, look, don't click right away, check the email address, and that kind of thing helps.
Yeah, to add to that, you want to use common sense. First of all, if you see someone impersonating someone else, you definitely want to look at the syntax of how they're typing in the email. If it doesn't look like how they normally conversate with you, then it's most likely someone else. Same with missing features of the email, like a signature could be missing, or there could be typos. Probably someone that doesn't speak English very well and is translating to impersonate that.
Yeah. The other thing I want to add is sometimes the email address may be coming from a domain name that is very similar. So they may transpose some of the letters. They may do where there's an I, they put a 1, or when there's a O, they put a 0, just to try to get you to believe that that is an authentic domain or something like that. So you have to be careful on what emails you open for a number of reasons.
Spamming is always it's always something that contains a virus or a hack, or
I would say not necessarily. Sometimes it's just phishing, and sometimes it's just a lot of advertising. But sometimes it is the one that comes with the virus.
Right. It could be a Trojan horse, and the link on the email that you click is a backdoor into your computer. And not just that, but if you're on the work network, then that's a backdoor for a hacker into the network. And that is a worst case scenario.
Absolutely.
And we've seen a lot of cases where, this phishing or these emails generate, backdoors for these ransomware that cost companies millions of dollars. If you get, for example, the Raikou virus, which comes in through an email phishing scam, they get the user to click on the link, opens up a backdoor for them. That Raikou installs itself and encrypts all the files on any system that it can have access to. So then it becomes a very costly, problem for any organization. Yeah, we've seen that firsthand. We've seen that, with multiple clients firsthand. In one case, the client took about 2 or 3 weeks to get resolved, and the other one we saw the client took about 6 months, and there were millions of dollars worth of damages. And it's hard for the FBI and for law enforcement to track down where these things are coming from.
But no damage can be done if you don't click, right? Or just by getting the spam?
The idea is prevention is the best method for stopping all these things. So that's what we're talking about today. Is we want to be extremely alert on any potential emails that come in as spams from people you don't recognize, from emails that you don't know, and from domains that look suspicious.
Yeah. So
and just to add to that really quickly, sorry, we kind of made a point earlier about when the times of year that these scams happen, and periodically it's around the holidays. But for scammers, this is a full-time job for them in some cases, and they're trying to make money. So on the other side of it, you have IT professionals who need to be cognizant, like Israel is saying, at all times, and have preventative measures like disaster recovery in place in case, Fleur, like you're saying, someone accidentally does click, because mistakes happen all the time.
Yeah, mistakes happen all the time.
Absolutely. And I was going to say that pretty much, you read my mind. This is pretty much this is their job. create those type of spam. These guys spend a lot of time a day creating these spam and sending it out there. So it's one human error. I mean, can just cost you tons of money. So anybody can fall for that. So I agree. You got to be extremely careful. One of the things you can do is make sure that, I mean, you only accept email that you have requested, or by person or the people that you are constantly in contact with. Avoid the trigger words. Guys, before we wrap it up, what are some trigger words that people should look out for real quick, that could be very fishy?
In terms of words, I know there is a list because the like the fire email filtering softwares use those words, but I wouldn't call them just a word because I mean that would be you will be blocking every email people send. But it's more like yeah, like phrases and again looking for that sense of urgency and when it's not really work related, like go buy gift cards, nothing to do with your work, and is this urgency I need it for this for today, I need it for this afternoon, and it's it's just things like that. But for if you're asking for a list of words, that's gonna be more complicated.
Do you guys think that segregating the inbox into junk and the others email, did that help?
I think if having an email filtering software, and we don't get paid for this, but we use Barracuda and we think it's pretty good. But yeah, it's you can put your domains that you don't want, your unwanted domains that you want to block. Then you have a list of whitelisted domains that those are companies that you do business with, people that are trying to reach out to you and they've been blocked. You just whitelist those domains and the firewall lets those through. You can basically tell, I want this to be blocked. I want this to come in and have my users receive those emails, and that's a really good way of trying to keep that secure. But still, even though you have that, sometimes they find a way, like you guys have been saying, this is what they do, and they get sophisticated with a minute. So
Hmm.
Right.
there's always something that goes through, and that's when the end user comes in and needs to be in the lookout for that kind of stuff.
Yeah,
All
and
right.
they're improving, with each failed attempt to scam. So as they scam more or send out more phishing scams, email scams,
They
they're
get
only
better
going
and
to
better.
improve. Yeah.
Yeah, they can also track where you're opening the. I mean, they have tools to track where you're opening the email, how often you're opening the email. Whether you're opening it from a mobile device or from a computer. So they have become very sophisticated. The other thing I want to mention about spam is even though you may not be providing your email address out to the public, if they have or if they get access to directories of companies, they can back engineer or re-engineer how your email is being generated, because they can look at patterns. So now they've done, they have artificial intelligence that can say, okay, the email is the first initial last name or first name last name. They have a number of patterns that they've used to identify what pattern your organization may be using for these emails. I think one way to try to combat some of these is to randomize your emails. But even though these things are there, people are very clever and they make this a full-time job to try to get through to you. And it's a $1 million it's a $1 million business for these spammers to send you spam.
Absolutely. All right, guys. Let's wrap it up. Definitely, we can talk about this all day. I know that this is pretty much what you guys are always this is your job pretty much, and you guys always like in alert. This is everybody's every company's nightmare, or every IT professional nightmare. So this is what we do, and so like Israel said, it's an expensive business. So you got a lot of people making a lot of money behind the scenes, so they always 24/7 trying to outsmart you. So thank you
Hmm.
guys for being here. I appreciate it. I'm gonna let you go. I know you guys are busy. So thank you for being here. And guys, follow us on social media on Twitter, LinkedIn, Instagram, and YouTube. This is gonna be posted on YouTube, Apple Music, and Spotify. And with that being said, we're gonna see you next time. Take care, guys.
Take care, guys.
Thank you.
See you guys.
Thank you guys. See you.